Okay, well, I guess in the fact that Jake is absent, or not absent, but remote, I will be in charge here today. So call the meeting to order. Emergency special meeting for Ripon City Council.
Is not an answer.
Roll call.
That was quick.
That's not an answer either.
Councilmember Leo Zuber,
Here.
Mike Restusha,
Present.
Dean Euchre,
Here.
Vice Mayor Daniel DeGraff,
Here.
Mayor Jake Parks.
Here.
So we'll open up the meeting to public discussion. Anybody from the public who wishes to speak, please come forward, state your name and address. Seeing none, move into discussion items.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Vice Mayor. First of all, I appreciate everyone making time this afternoon to meet and have this meeting. As you know, there's a lot of discussion happening right now with the coronavirus. Staff has been following this very closely and looking towards the guidelines from both the federal and state entities related to reducing the spread of the virus. This situation has been quickly changing over the last few days, or last few weeks, and especially over the last few days. I think last Thursday we started looking at our own operations and programs and what we should be doing going forward. Today, and really our focus has been how do we protect our staff who has a lot of engagement with the public, specifically, you know, the police department, public works department, all our staff who collects bills and different interactions with the public. How do we protect them from potentially getting the virus, and how do you limit the spread of the virus within our community? So staff has put together a list of, I guess you could say, recommendations that are attached to the resolution you have before you today. The one thing I would say is that this is constantly evolving. I think as we were writing this and I was emailing this out, we still get some different direction from the federal government and the CDC related to public gatherings. So this is an evolving message, or I guess where we're at today with our resolution. It continues to evolve, and right now, essentially everything on here was to become effective now, and will last to the end of the month. But you know, will it still make sense next week or not? It remains to be seen. But with that, is there any questions before I start walking through the items that we put together to help limit the spread of the virus? So with that, the first item we had is related to our recreation programs. All programs would be suspended until the end of the month. The program that's primarily affected by this is the city's youth flag football program. Staff is going to watch, again, guidance from federal and state entities about how best to move forward, but our plan is to, at the right time, hopefully right later this month, be able to release a revised schedule to that program. It was supposed to start today, so obviously coaches have been notified that it wouldn't be starting, but we would look to move the program out a couple weeks and still get the full season in for the kids. Facility rentals. This is one that really has been changing quite a bit since we first wrote this language. I think the language that we included in the Exhibit A here is what was a part of the governor's emergency resolution that was passed last week. This provided no gatherings with people with over 250 people. Those were supposed to be canceled or postponed. Rentals with less than 250 people were supposed to be practicing the social distancing of 6 feet, and then gathering for individuals or gatherings that had high-risk individuals as part of it was to be no more than 10. I think most recently, and I don't know if it was yesterday or actually today, but the CDC had came out with some guidelines of no more gatherings of 50 people, and then I think the president came out today and suggesting less than 10 people. So it continues to be evolving. This is one, I think, well, let me just tell you who is using the facilities for the end of the month. Most people have already rescheduled or canceled their facilities. There is one large event this Friday, March 20th, where they want to have between 350 to 400 people, and they want to continue to have that event. And then the only other event that is happening, I believe, is a small party, a birthday party of 25 people in a gazebo. So after looking at the guidelines and kind of what is happening, staff is suggesting that we just cancel all rentals until the end of the month. So we would revise that language in here to reflect that.
Does that mean that you would tell that group that still wants to meet that they can't?
Right, and even within the certain guidelines right now, they're over the 250 people in a way, so they wouldn't be able to have the event in a way with that guidance.
And you need to refund their deposit.
And we will refund their deposits or reschedule them, however they
Right.
want to do it.
Yeah.
And the same for in other words, you're just gonna shut it down for the rest of March?
Yes.
Okay.
Recycling
And
center,
then, I'm sorry, I might have missed it, but it's just for the month of March, and then first weekend in April it'll be back open?
that's the plan. We're going to continue to watch it, and this may change, but right now it's just looking ahead 2 weeks and canceling all the facility rentals for the next 2 weeks. And really all these programs for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
I would tell you, Jake, from my experience of the stuff that I'm looking at and the boards I'm on, this may change in a week from now, maybe another month, and maybe 3 weeks, and maybe 2 months, who knows?
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, I mean, they just put the entire Bay Area on shelter in place, so
Right.
businesses are gonna be shut down out here for at least the next 2 weeks, if not longer.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're not here.
Why he should be here.
Yeah,
Tells the
You
guy,
can't get out.
don't come back.
but it's interesting. Over the weekend, you look at the graphs in China and the spread of the disease and how it went. I mean, we're 2 to 4 weeks behind what was happening in China. They say that they're getting behind it now. So, it depends who you believe when you read this information. But this could be the reality through the end of April potentially. Recycling center operations there would be suspended until the end of the month as well. Public Works is going to go out there and actually button up the facility, so we'll finish processing the cardboard that's in there, close it down, close all the bins down, and likely put barricades up to limit access of people getting behind there. We will also add signs that says, please do not leave any material behind. This is considered illegal dumping. So we would close that operation up. I have talked to Ziggy at the school district and made her aware of that, and she's on board as well.
Well, and I agree with that. I'm glad you said you were gonna put some barriers up, because people aren't gonna know that we're putting this in place. I mean, as well as we're gonna try to tell everybody, somebody goes out there to dump some, thinking it's their normal everyday dumping, and it's gonna be illegal.
Right.
So if we put barriers up and stuff, I think you're doing them a favor, so I think that's good.
The only comment I have is I wouldn't put the word please anywhere out there. I'm serious, because those people take advantage of it anyway.
That's right.
Right.
And the idea that they even have a choice is gonna cause us nothing but trouble. I just think you just tell them, it's closed.
No dumping.
No dumping, period.
Okay.
will be cited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
the senior, bus still gonna run?
But he's getting to that.
8 more items. We'll be there.
Oh,
Did you read your agenda?
I did.
Did you read Exhibit A?
Okay, moving on.
City council and commission meetings, the plan is that all commission meetings will be canceled till the end of the month. It
Okay,
includes,
see ya.
except emergency meetings. So all commission and non-emergency city council meetings, including tonight's planning commission meeting. There was really one item on the planning commission meeting, which was abandonment of a PUE. So that's something that could wait until April or a later time. I'll deal with the next 3 all at once. They're essentially the same thing. So talking about access to the public, what we talked about this morning in our staff meeting was closing the lobbies for non-emergency items. For PD, that would include live scans, Same with City Hall, you know, someone coming in just to drop something off, we would close it for just normal business. You know, obviously, we're here to serve the community, and we want to continue to do that. So what we would offer is, you know, to meet with people by appointment. If there's something that needs to get taken care of now that can't wait until the end of the month or April, we would work with people to set up appointments to make sure that they're taken care of. For instance,
So you lock the front door on both sides?
yeah, we'll put signs up and we'll have, give phone numbers to call to set up appointments if it is something that needs to be taken care of now. I know the police department talked about live scans, and if there was an emergency or some reason that it had to happen now, we would work with people to do that. Same with people trying to drop off plans, trying to have a meeting to talk about something that is urgent, that needs to be taken care of in the next couple of weeks. We'll set up meetings and continue to meet with those members of the public, but just people stopping by on items that just don't need to happen right now, that can be put off, or asking people to put those off, or take care of it through emails, internet. We could help people get through that process to do that.
If they got payments, you got a drop box out there for them to make payments. So it's not
Exactly.
an issue.
Yep. Library, we did get notice from the city of Stockton, who really operates the Ripon branch of the Stockton-San Joaquin County Public Library, that they closed all libraries as of March 15th through the end of the month. Very similar. It seems to be, talking with the city managers over the weekend, this seems to be everyone's kind of taking the same approach through the end of the month and monitoring it very closely. Ripon Senior Center, this is something we put out last week. Obviously, this is a population, an at-risk population. We wanted to make sure we reacted very quickly with that. So as of March 13th, all activities at the Senior Center were suspended until the end of the month, with the exception of the meals program. They have been working with staff there to deliver food as needed, or have items ready for pickup as much as needed, just to limit the people coming inside the facility and having lunch. And then lastly, the Blossom Express. This primarily serves Bethany Home, and with some of the restrictions on the elderly and the travel of the elderly, we also thought it was, you know, with an abundance of caution, to limit service of the Blossom Express. So we would suspend that also till the end of the month. And we're communicating that with Bethany Home as well. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. Obviously, this was a team effort between myself and really all the department heads and our city attorney throughout the morning, and even as starting into last week. So I'm happy to answer any questions, or department heads here also are able to answer any questions.
Well, it's pretty cut and dry as far as I'm concerned, so if it's okay, I'll make a motion that we accept what you're asking us, the resolution.
I would like to recommend one change, and that is take that word "please" out of the
I will.
recycling center.
Yeah.
And I mean, make it, there will be no, or something like that. It needs to be more of a direction rather than a request.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're,
Is that a second?
Yeah, I'll second it
Okay, so-
with that amendment.
So I want to make some comments.
I'm sorry, the other amendment to it was also related to facility rentals. All
rentals, right.
facility rentals will be canceled to the end of the month.
So, we canceled 2 board meetings this week, 2 next week, for some of the boards I sit in. I don't know what COG's doing yet. Steve said they haven't canceled anything. We actually have an event coming up in May with 600 people. That got canceled. Some people are canceling stuff way out, and personally, this stuff doesn't really scare me, excite me, but I also I think we need to be smart, not stupid. If everybody's doing it, we should probably follow along. So I think I applaud you for getting together and trying to put some plan together to limit, you know, exposure and potential issues. So I'm glad you did that. Thanks.
yeah, and just in general, thanks for keeping us informed, and do our best to inform the public, as it's a ever-changing condition right now, so.
It really is, and we'll continue to inform the council and public
None of
as
this
we
stuff's
get new
gonna shock
information.
anybody.
No.
I think the opposite would have shocked people, because that seems to be the general reaction in the public, is anybody that's not doing this sort of thing, the first question they ask is, why not? What happened?
That's right. Well, my first responder appreciation day is April 4th, and we were gonna kind of see what's gonna go on in the next couple of months, but we just decided I decided today, we're gonna cancel. As much as it breaks my heart, it's not the smart thing to do. It's just not.
Yeah.
Jake, you got any questions?
No, I'm good.
All right, we have a motion and a second, so we'll take a roll call vote, I suppose. Lisa?
Councilmember Leo Zuber,
Wait till she calls your name.
Mike Verstuccia,
Yes.
Dean Euchre,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniel DeGraff,
Yes.
Mayor Jake Parks,
Yes.
5-0?
passes 5-0.
All
By
right.
the way, the governor just allowed him to do that.
Yep. Nice job to be one of the first ones, Jake, with a,
I was gonna go down and sit in his office for the meeting.
meeting adjourned, but